You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. If I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We in the building. We got some stuff to talk about on this Good Friday. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, my goodness. Got some drama for your mama. Victor Wembanyama. You know what I'm saying? Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brethren and sisters, hermanos mi hermanas, homies and homettes, dudes and dudettes, kings and queens, and everything in between. Y'all know what time it is. A doctor's in the house. Yes, we are in the building. Yes, we are here, man. I appreciate y'all rocking. I know the last time we did a live was Monday, but those of you that were here in the last show, you know, I told you I've been a little bit, I don't know, you know, I haven't been as frequent as I usually am. I haven't been as present as I usually am because, you know, started a new gig. So still trying to get acclimated to my new schedule. I missed the Wednesday show. I apologize, but we are here now. We have some things to talk about. It's been relatively slow, you know, but the biggest news is the biggest news, and that's Vergil Ortiz and Oscar De La Hoya. It's a little beef, you know what I'm saying? But before we get to that, we have some other topics we want to cover as well. But before we get to that, even, you know, we got to thank the Most High. You feel me? And thank him for his blessing. So please join me and bow your heads if you indulge in the faith. If you don't, that's okay. Take a chill, sit back, have a Coke and a smile. We'll be back shortly. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for your blessings. Thank you for bringing us to this Friday, the end of the week, towards the end of the week, Lord. Let us be thankful for another day, another opportunity to love, another opportunity to be a blessing to somebody else's life, another opportunity to spread kindness, another opportunity to smile, you know, and just be that light, that beacon of hope that we want to see in the world. Be that change that we want to see in the world, Lord. We thank you for new opportunities. We thank you for closing the chapters of things that happened in the past. We do not want to be held down by our past. We want to move forward and walk by faith and not by sight, Lord. We want to thank you for the kind words that we heard over the week. We want to thank you for the kind words that we spoke over the week. If we haven't done so over the course of the week, we still have time, and we thank you for that time that you bless us with. So Lord, please forgive us for our sins that we do intentionally. Hopefully we don't do too many of those, and the sins that we do unintentionally, the sins that we do that are known to us, and the sins that are unbeknownst to us. We just want to ask for your continued forgiveness, and thank you for the forgiveness, and let you know that we are grateful. Through Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Shout out to my brother Bodega Ty in the building. What's good, my brother? Ooh. So the low down dirty shame, and when I want to say shame, I do mean shame, and the emphasis on the shame is that Vergil Ortiz and his promoter, Rick Meridian, is apparently suing their big promoter, Oscar De La Hoya. So his manager suing his promoter. Their team is all disgruntled in all types of ways. And it seems like, dare I say, that he is suing them suddenly, not because it's a breach of contract, not because it's actually Golden Boy losing their DAZN deal, which is true. All those things, the aforementioned two things are true. But it seems like they're suddenly suing and potentially leaving Golden Boy because the fight seemed like it wasn't just Jaron Boots Ennis that wants it. It's not just Eddie Hearn that wants it. It's not just Turkey Al Sheikh that wants it. It's not just the fans that want it. It's actually the broadcasting platform in which they put on their fights that also wants it, DAZN. So a lot of things are contingent on Jaron Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz fighting, and it's not just the fighter's future or the fans' pleasure. It's actually their deal as a business to keep going and growing, right? But this is not the first time that we've seen Oscar De La Hoya beef with one of his fighters. I mean, I'm really waiting for him to unretire because it seems like he's fighting his fighters more than his fighters are fighting. Ain't that crazy? Oscar De La Hoya is fighting his fighters more than his fighters are fighting. We already know that he has this very popular, infamous beef with Saul Canelo Alvarez, the face of boxing, one of my favorite fighters, Cinnamon, right? He had a beef publicly with his PED, drug popping, weight bullying, unaccomplished, racist fighter, Ryan Garcia, right? He had a beef with him formerly. That seems like it's going on. Monday it's on, Tuesday it's off, Wednesday is back on again, and now he's beefing with his next biggest star in Vergil Ortiz. I mean, the only thing that's next to do is for him to beef with Zurdo Ramirez. Like, it's kind of crazy, right? So this beef is, I want to say it's unheard of. I want to say it's, this beef is, I wouldn't say that it's foreign or unexpected, but it is kind of sad because I know I may make a lot of jokes about Oscar De La Panti and Golden Shower Promotions, but I really do like Golden Boy Promotions. I definitely like Golden Boy as a fighter. Golden Boy as a fighter, man, Oscar De La Hoya, he was a beast. He's an all-time great, still is, right? As a promoter, he's funny. I like when he talks and he does his clapback Thursdays. I just take it with a grain of salt and I laugh. But this is very concerning because I'm just imagining if it wasn't Golden Boy. Let's say it was somebody like PBC. I don't know, What if it wasn't Oscar De La Hoya and it was somebody like, I don't know, Al Heyman? Imagine what the narrative would be if the fighter wasn't Vergil Ortiz and it was somebody like, I don't know, Jaron Boots Ennis. Imagine if Jaron Boots Ennis was threatening to sue Eddie Hearn because Eddie Hearn wanted him to get a fight that all of boxing wants to see. Imagine if it was Jaron Boots Ennis that was splitting from Matchroom because Matchroom wanted him to fight a guy like Vergil Ortiz. That's what's happening right now. It seems like Vergil Ortiz, Team Vergil Ortiz, when you talk about Vergil Ortiz Jr., the fighter, Vergil Ortiz Sr., the father, Robert Garcia, the trainer, Oscar De La Hoya, the promoter, Rick Meridian, the manager, Eric Gomez, the chairman of Golden Boy, whoever you're talking about, it just seems crazy that their team is suddenly fragmented when we are on the cusp of getting the fight that they claimed they wanted in the first place. Another fight that they claimed they wanted, right? They claimed they wanted to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. Not happening. They claimed they wanted to fight Terrence Crawford. Never happened. They claimed they wanted a title fight with Fundora. Hasn't happened. They claimed they were willing to fight Xander Zayas, but Xander Zayas is not fighting Vergil Ortiz, but he is fighting the unification against the WBA champion, Abbas Barral. And Abbas Barral, the WBA champion, he's fighting Xander Zayas, who's the WBO champion. And they had an offer to fight Bakram Murtazaleh, but we can't have them fight because remember, they got the Rabdo, and they don't want to fight in a division, which people excuse them for not wanting to fight for a championship in a sanctioned body in their same division. You're at 154. Why is it unreasonable for me to think that you go for a title at 154. I don't care how many dehydration, rehydration, no hydration clauses they have or don't have. Bakram is an IBF champion. If you can't manage to fight a guy that's an IBF champion in your division, then that means that you probably don't belong in that division. I'm just saying, we got to stop making these excuses for these fighters, bro. I like Vergil Ortiz a lot. I listened to Chris Algieri talk, and he said, yeah, he thinks that they're somehow going to blame Jaron Boots Ennis more than they blame Vergil Ortiz for this fight not happening. And I agree with them, because people are a bunch of freaking idiots. Like, Vergil Ortiz is somehow being permitted to not get criticism or a very bare minimum amount of criticism, right? Like, they're saying, oh, Vergil Ortiz says all the right things. Yes, he definitely says all the right things, and I like Vergil Ortiz because he says all the right things, and he's a good fighter, right? There's not much to dislike, but let's not confuse it, right? There's a saying that says action speaks louder than words. Contrarily and conversely, inaction speaks louder than words as well. Because when you're doing something or you're not doing something, that speaks volumes. What he's doing right now is not doing something when it comes to fighting Jaron Boots Ennis. So the fact that he's not fighting Jaron Boots Ennis, a fight with his rival, both in his primes around the same age that we want to see fight, that's not happening. And the fact that he hasn't even fought for a title in 2 divisions. He has yet to fight for a title. He hasn't fought WBC champion Sebastian Fedora. He hasn't fought the IBF champion Bakram Bertazaliev, hasn't made any strides to fight the WBA champion Abbas Barao or the WBO champion Xander Zayas, right? He hasn't fought anybody for a title at 147 either. So what I'm saying is that even if it may not be his fault, I don't think Vergil Ortiz is a duck, but there is a problem there, because if it was another fighter, we would call him a duck. Like right now, Richardson Hitchens is not fighting the fights that we want to see. We have no problem disparaging him. We have no problem demeaning him. We have no problem saying that, oh, he's looking like a weak champion. I will say that, and I like Richardson Hitchens, but I also like Vergil Ortiz. But the difference between me and most other content creators or most other boxing enthusiasts, pugilist enthusiasts, or more other boxing contributors, when I critique Richardson Hitchens, I don't care that we're both American, or myself, Richardson Hitchens, and Vergil Ortiz, we're all American. That doesn't excuse them from critiques. I don't care that we are both of a darker complexion. That doesn't excuse them from critiques. I don't care about any commonality when it comes to complexion, nationality, religion, height, or anything else, bro. I'm going to critique everybody. So if I could critique Richardson Hitchens for not fighting the fights that we want to see, if I could critique Rolly Romero for not fighting the fights that we want to see, you better bet your gosh dang bottom dollar I'm going to critique Vergil Ortiz for not fighting the fights or being a champion or doing anything close to the realm of what we want to see as boxing observers. And that's what Vergil Ortiz is doing. He's not doing anything that we want, man. And this is getting... not only is it getting redundant, it's getting ridiculous. And no, it's past ridiculous. It is almost embarrassing. It is flat out embarrassing. Shout out to my brother Ty, man. We're going to give him another gosh dang salute, because that's my boy right there. And he has his own emote. Shout out to him. I see my other partners in the building, man. Big salute to my brother Ty. Bodega in the building. We got my brother Oster 140. OGO in the building. We got my brother Boxer with 2-4 in the building. What up, folks? Spamming them GTD chains. Yes, sir. We got my brother, mi hermano carnal El Jefe, Oscar Perez in the building. Oscar Perez, mi hermano carnal, and El Edificio. You know what I'm saying? Let me say that again. Mi hermano carnal and El Edificio. That means he's in the building for my Spanish speakers out there. Shout out to my brother Oscar Perez, dropping that hello yellow, $10 on the fellow with that graffiti on the chat walls. Dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. Shout out to my brother Oscar. He said the sad reality is the same people that say at the media say the media hates Black American fight. Come on now. The sad reality, shout out to Oscar, is the same people that say the media hates Black American fighters are the same ones that say Boots pump faking just because of his name being attached to Budrick. Come on now. I've seen people blame Jaron Boots Ennis for this fight not happening. It is right in your face, bro. It's plain as day, bro. You see what I'm saying? There's no way else I could change it. But you know what the crazy part is, Oscar? And Ty and everybody else, my brethren, Rick Tim's in the building. The crazy thing is that this is why you don't argue with a fool. Because when you argue with a fool, it's hard to tell from an outsider looking in who is the fool. Because no matter what facts you give somebody, they're going to still disagree because that's what they want to do. They're emotional. They, fools and fans, the word fan is short for fanatic. They are emotional, you know what I'm saying? So if they don't want something to be, they live in an imaginary reality and it's not going to be. Like, there's no way that you could tell me, even if you don't think Boots really wants to fight. Let's just say that, hypothetically speaking, let's say Boots is pump faking against Vergil, with Vergil, right? Cloud chasing Vergil. Okay, right? The fight still wouldn't happen because the manager, Rick Meridian, or promoter, whatever you want to call him, is not on the same page as the person that they're signed to, the big promoter, Oscar De La Hoya. So if Rick Meridian and Oscar De La Hoya aren't on the same page, they don't even know how much money they want to negotiate for. So how could an entity that wants to negotiate with another entity even begin negotiations if they're not even in agreement with what they want to negotiate for? You understand what I'm saying? So whether it's Oscar's fault, Vergil's fault, Rick Meridian's fault, Vergil Sr.'s fault, I tell you whose fault it ain't. It is not Eddie Hearn's fault. It's definitely not Bozy Ennis' fault. And it's very much so absolutely not Jaron Boots Ennis' fault. At this point, Vergil Ortiz can't fight anybody if his promoter and his manager are not on the same page, which they are not, and they are currently going through a lawsuit because Vergil Ortiz has filed litigation claiming a breach of contract because the contract with Vergil, or between Vergil Ortiz and Golden Boy Promotions, was contingent on what? Because I'm going to do my reading, baby. I'm going to read, baby. I got all these eyes. I'm going to read something. According to the lawsuit and the particulars, the contract was contingent on Vergil Ortiz being with the contract between Vergil Ortiz and Golden Boy was contingent on Golden Boy having a secure, stable deal with DAZN. So that's one part. The other part that it was contingent on, this is funny, was that Vergil Ortiz has to have, meaning it is obligatory, meaning it is mandatory that Vergil Ortiz has more than how many options? More than one. What is that telling you if he wants more than one option? That means when Oscar De La Hoya and Rick Meridian say things like, oh, we don't just have to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. We could fight Errol Spence. Oh, we could fight Jermell Charlo. They really meant that. They want other options. They don't just want Jaron Boots Ennis. So whether you like it or not, even if they only had one option, they clearly don't want it. Because if that one option was Jaron Boots Ennis, and Jaron Boots Ennis pulled up on you in your last fight in the ring, and y'all verbally agreed to fight, and y'all said that y'all want to fight him, and you're willing to fight him because he's down to fight anybody, but somehow he coincidentally has never had a belt yet while fighting anybody, then that shows you that they're not happy with that one option, if that one option is Boots. Because it seems like the one option that DAZN wants is Boots. The one option that Boots wants is Vergil. The one option that Eddie wants is Vergil. So who is the one that's unhappy with their options and their selection? That would be Vergil. So how on God's green earth could you put this on Boots Ennis is beyond me. You're just stuck on stupid. And when you stuck on stupid, you ain't rocking with this channel. We gonna call you out, daddy. Shout out to my brother Peel out in the building. Big member in the building. Yeah, shout out to Rick. He said, dang, man, Vergil is filing lawsuits to duck Boots. Come on, man. Come on, man. Done fell out with Oscarish. Nasty work. Come on now. Come on now. We out here looking like DuckTales on the block. G's, I'm peas. We out here looking like DuckTales on the block. Say it ain't so. Shout out to Mick. Hopefully I didn't mispronounce your name. He said, Mick Doonan. He said the other thing is Hitchens is a champion where Vergil is still a challenger. Is that a good thing? You see, shout out to Mick Doonan. This is no disrespect to you, but you see what you just did? You somehow made it seem like it's worse that Richardson Hitchens is a champion and Vergil Ortiz is not a champion. Who is that worse for? Huh? This man just said the other thing is that Richardson Hitchens is a champion where Vergil is still a challenger. Is that better or worse for Vergil Ortiz? That he somehow managed to still not be a champion? So I'm not saying that Hitchens isn't bad. Like, if you watch this channel, you know I have critiqued Hitchens because I'm very unbiased and I'm objective. However, you, sir, or ma'am, I think you're a sir. Mick sounds like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to assume, but I'm assuming Mick is a male, right? You, sir, are comparing a guy with another guy and somehow making it seem like it's worse that they're both picking to choose it because one is a champion. Huh? I'm not saying they're both not bad, but how can you make it seem like it's worse that Richardson Hitchens is a champion and Vergil Ortiz has never been a champion? So if they're both picking to choose it, but one's a champion, I think one is more accomplished. So with that same, going along with that same thought process, Jaron Boots Ennis, he may not have fought the guys that we want him to fight, the popular guys, right? But Jaron Boots Ennis has been something that Vergil Ortiz has not been, and that would be a champion. He's also been something that Vergil Ortiz has not been. That would be a unified champion when he had the IBF and WBA. He also did something that Vergil Ortiz has not done. That would be a Ring Magazine champion. But somehow, Boots is worse off than Vergil Ortiz. How? Tell me how. How? You made it sound like it's worse that Richardson Hitchens is a champion. But this is crazy, bro. It's crazy. But that goes back to what I was saying before. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I am entitled to have my opinion on your opinion. And I'll tell you that your opine was stupid as hell because Richardson Hitchens, yeah, he's crazy. In my opinion, he's looking crazy because he's mad at Frank Martin for calling him out. That's when you're a champion, you have a target on your back. So if you don't want to have the burden of having a target on your back, then you should relinquish the title. I've said that many times. And I think it's really weak of him to make it seem like people shouldn't call him out. Like when Sean McComb called him out after his last win, Richard Hitchens responded like this. He said, who's that guy? Who's Sean McComb calling me out?
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that? You know damn well who I am. Who the fuck is that?
And I think that's corny, right? I think that's corny because when you're a title holder, you should be flattered that people are calling you out, right? So he turned down Sean McComb. When Frank Martin called him out after he had a knockout of the year candidate against Rances Barthélemy, he said, oh, Frank Martin, I'm surprised he's awake. Tried to make fun of him for getting knocked out by Gervonta Davis. That sounds good, but what the reality is that you don't want to fight him, right? When the WBA champion in his own division, fellow American Gary Anton Russell called him out, he said Gary Anton Russell doesn't have a big enough name. Now, Richardson Hitchens might have a slightly bigger name, but it's not that big of a difference for you to be turning down Gary Anton Russell. And if anything, you can have a strong argument. I think it's debatable who's bigger. I would probably say Richardson Hitchens is a little bit bigger of a name right now, with the social media presence and stuff like that. But Gary Anton Russell, he's from a fighting family. You know, his brothers are fighters. One of his brothers fought Lomachenko. You see what I'm saying? And then so he turned that down. Who else called him out that said they wanted to fight? I mean, basically, Richardson Hitchens, he only wants to fight Teofimo or maybe Devin Haney, right? Devin Haney's not even in his division. So Richard Hitchens, I agree. Like I said, I'm not saying he doesn't look bad, but what I am emphatically disagreeing with is the fact that he somehow looks worse than Vergil. Nobody looks worse than Vergil. Nobody. Let me say that again. Nobody. Maybe Anthony Kakachi looks worse than Vergil because that's a whole nother story, right? Anthony Kakachi claims that he doesn't care about belts. He dropped his IBF belt so he didn't have to fight Eduardo Sugar Nunez, right? But then after he vacated his IBF belt because he said, I don't care about belts, I just want to fight for money, he fought Leigh Wood. Then he was supposed to fight Ray Ford, and it wasn't for a belt. It was supposed to be a big fight. I believe it was under Riyadh season. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Turkey associated fight. If it's a fight affiliated with Turkey, you probably going to get the biggest bag that you received in your career. Then he had an injury. I don't question injuries. Injuries happen. Hell, I injure myself just, you know what I'm saying, by happenstance, just living my life. You know what I'm saying? So if you're an athlete, you're going to get injured. But the fact that he didn't revisit Ray Ford is crazy, right? But we said, okay, cool. Let Anthony Kakachi do what he got to do. You see what I'm saying? But then now he's turning around. Never tried to fight the WBA 130-pound champion who was Lamont Roach at the time. He's never tried to fight the 130-pound WBC champion who was Oshiki Foster. He didn't want to defend his belt, the IBF belt that he had against Sugar Nunez. And he's never entertained or even desired to fight the WBO champion, Mexican Emmanuel Navarrete, has he? Oh, but when Lamont Roach fought Pitbull, he was stripped of his WBA belt, right? And then that was given to who? Who was elevated as a WBA champion? Jazza Dickens. Most people haven't heard of Jazza Dickens, right? But you know who has heard of Jazza Dickens? Anthony Kakachi. Who's Jazza Dickens fighting for his first defense of his belt? at 130 pounds for the WBA. Magically, Anthony Kakachi. If you ask me, Anthony Kakachi, that move makes him, there's only a few things that pop into my mind when Anthony Kakashi wanted to fight Jazzy Dickens when he suddenly became a belt holder. I'm thinking that,
Nigga, you's a bitch.
that's all I think. I just think he's weak because first he didn't care about belts. Then he only wanted big fights. And the big fight that he had was against Ray Ford. He didn't take that big fight. Then all of a sudden now he never called out the WBA champion, Lamont Roach, but all of a sudden he's fighting Jazzy Dickens. So he is cherry picking too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jazzy Dickens. I'm rooting for Jazzy Dickens. Do I think Jazzy Dickens will win? No. But I'm rooting for him. However, that's probably the only person I could think of that looks worse than Vergil Ortiz right now. Vergil Ortiz is suddenly having his internal combustion of his team because he has to fight Boots Ennis. So you're going to any extent not to fight Boots Ennis, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Let me catch up in the chat, though. Let me see. Oscar says the media makes narratives up, but we have to take into account in this scenario, they follow what the fans say. Come on now. It's just nonsense, man. TSO Bodega Ty says Oscar De La Panti just being himself. Hey, my boy on that 8 ball. You know what time it is. Rick Tim says, dang, man, Vergil will follow. Yeah, I read that already. Exactly. Average someone in the building. My brother. Shout out to my guy, Average Someone, mi hermano. He said, Doc, you watching the prelims tonight? Man, I'm not watching them, man. You talk about the Raul Curiel. Let's talk about that too, man. Let's switch up. Let's switch the gears a little bit, right? Shout out to Pill Out. Pill Out says, how does Pitbull versus Matias go now if they fight? Ooh, that's a good fight, man. I might be leaning towards Pitbull, boy. You know, Pitbull's one of my favorite fighters, though. He's very exciting. So I don't know. I was leaning towards Matias at first, but in this time, I don't know, man. I might be leaning towards my boy Pitbull. But speaking of Raul Curiel, right? He's fighting what's his name? Pelham. Shout out to Pelham for let me make sure I get his name correct though. I don't want to butcher his name, but even though I already did. What is his name? Give me a second. His name is Jonathan Panthen. Jordan Panthen. Shout out to him. I was gonna watch that fight. I have it on, you know what I'm saying, but I lost interest in it, right? Because it was Raul Curiel and Alexis Rocha. But Alexis Rocha had to pull out, right? Why did he have to pull out? And this is something that kind of irks my nerves, man. Please don't forget to smack that like button for your boy. I appreciate it. Alexis Rocha had to pull out because why? Because Alexis Rocha had the audacity to miss weight. Can't make this up, man. You know, him and Raul Curiel had a draw last time. Very good fight. And they're going to fight right now, right? And shout out to Scrappy Ramirez, who is fighting right now. I'm kind of watching. I'm not really paying attention, to be honest, though. Average. But Alexis Rocha, man. You know, we talk about Devin Haney being a weight bully. Some of us talk about David Benavidez being a weight bully. But you know what the difference between them and most guys are? Is that they might be a little big. Yeah, they might show up a little weight drained. Yeah. But throughout all that, they make weight. And they don't have fights canceled. Alexis Rocha missed weight, man. Last second, and the fight was canceled. And people say, oh, Doc, you're heartless. He missed weight and he was hospitalized. It was self-inflicted. He was hospitalized because he was trying to go through such a drastic weight cut in order to have the fight commence. So if you are going through such extreme measures and having to make such severe, put your body under such extreme and severe conditions that you are hospitalizing yourself, trying to make weight, I think it's time to move up, bro. And it's unfair to Raul Curiel, bro. Shout out to Jordan Panthen and shout out to Raul Curiel for still fighting. You know what I'm saying? Respect to them for being dedicated to their craft. You know what I'm saying? Being professionals and yeah, upholding the integrity, purity, and sanctity of the sport, man. This is garbage. You see what I'm saying? Alexis Rocha missed weight. Why? Why not move to 154? You that afraid of the guys at 154? You that worried about a Bas Barral? You that worried about Xander Zayas? You can't keep up with Vergil Ortiz or Sebastian Fedora or Jaron Boots Ennis? And they be talking like they just so strong and they be talking all this nonsense. Alexis Rocha be running his mouth while he's commentating on DAZN, saying all these other things that he would do if he was fighting and how he would handle this situation like a gangster and all this other stuff. Talking about people being sued and suing and all this stuff. You can't even make weight, brother. You just had the fight canceled, bro. So I don't know. I just think that's weak, man. You don't get no sympathy from me. But it's just so funny to me that a fighter will miss weight and be hospitalized, and people will say, "Oh, they'll give them sympathy." Or then another fighter will pop dirty and test positive. They'll say, "Oh, it was contaminated." Oh, you get sympathy. But then a fighter who gets cheated by somebody who popped dirty, they troll him. They say that he's weak for getting punched while his opponent was cheating. Isn't that crazy, bro? It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro. We give sympathy to the people that don't deserve the sympathy, and then we talk trash about the person who was a victim in this situation and deserves all types of, leniency and all types of consideration. It's just, the world is backwards, man. That's why if you go with the world, boy, you lost. I don't care. Quantity does not make quality. It's just wild. It's extremely wild. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, someone got shot. Someone got tossed up out of here. We gonna get you up out of here, cuz. We packed him up. Somebody got packed up. Don't worry. So hopefully you got your suitcase packed. We gonna send you somewhere nice. We gonna send you somewhere real nice. Send you on a little vacation.
She thought I was gonna send her somewhere nice. You're not going to the beach, bitch. You're going to hell.
Send them straight to hell. I don't even know who they were. Shout out to my brother Ty. We sent them straight to hell. But yeah, man. Shout out to Rick Timms. He says facts. It's facts, bro. It's just crazy, man. Like Alexis Rocha, he missed weight, jeopardized the whole card. Shout out to the ones that are still making weight. Shout out to the ones that are, demonstrated professionalism. I mean, look at even Dalton Smith. No, I think Subra Matias, it was a minuscule amount. So let's be very fair, right? Subra Matias tested positive for ostarine, but he tested under the legal limit, right? Quantitatively, right? The limit set by the New York State Athletic Commission is 0.1 nanograms per milliliter of ostarine. Subra Matias came in at 0.085, so he was 0.015 under the limit. So the fight was still able to commence. But I want to shout out Dalton Smith because he had a perfect excuse. I don't even want to call it an excuse because that gives a negative connotation. He has a perfect reason to sit out of the fight. He had ample justification to sit out of the fight. But he said, no, I'm going to still fight him. And shout out to him. Because whether you like it or not, whether you like Subra Matias or not, he did have it in the system. Whether it was intentional or not, he did have it in the system. Whether it was purposeful or not, he did have it in his system. Whether it was accidental or not, he had it in his system. When I say his system, that means something that he owns. The system that he had it in was his body. Even if it was unbeknownst to you that it was in your system, even if it was unintentional that it was in your system, that doesn't mean that you're not accountable. Negligence is not an excuse for not having accountability. It was in your system, bruh. It wasn't in somebody else's system, bruh. But instead of taking accountability, which I mean nobody really does when it comes to PEDs, I didn't really mind so much that he had it in him because it was just a trace amount. But what made me annoyed was that Subra Matias blamed everybody but himself. He didn't blame himself. He didn't blame his trainer. He didn't blame his nutritionist. He went as far as saying that the people that are reporting it are full of stuff. When I say full of stuff, he said that we are full of bullshit. And that's crazy. You could get mad, you could lash out, but to say that people are full of crap because we're reporting the results of a test that you took, it's nobody's fault, bro. Have some accountability. We're just reporting the results, bro. No one's blaming you, no one's mad, but have some accountability. And he was too busy fighting people reporting the news of him failing the test that he forgot to fight Dalton Smith and got knocked the freak out in 5 rounds. Shout out to Dalton Smith, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to all the fighters doing what they're supposed to do and doing the thing and making it a pleasure to watch, you know what I'm saying? You over here fighting everybody talking about you ain't doing it and it's sabotage, it's conspiracy. You got knocked smooth out in 5 rounds.
You got knocked the fuck out, man. Give me my goddamn money.
You know what I'm saying? So tighten up, man. Get your house in order. You know what I'm saying? It was a great fight. I wouldn't even say it was really a great fight by Dalton Smith. It wasn't a particularly bad fight by Subra Matias. It was a pretty decent performance on both counts. But it was a great fight. You know what I'm saying? The mixture that they had, it was a great fight. And sometimes it looked like Subra Matias was gonna stop Dalton Smith. So it looked like he was wearing them down. But Dalton Smith was also landing some big shots and some clean shots. So shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? One time for 2 cents in the building. One time for the ladies. Shout out to 2 cents in the building. What's good, sis? So yeah, man. So I just think it's just crazy, man. Shout out to my brother Oster, man. Did he just renew his membership? I appreciate you, O. My brother Oster renewed his membership, said he's not going nowhere. Committed to the channel for 30 more days. I appreciate that, brother.
I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on.
Appreciate you keeping the show going on, man, with the new renewal of the membership. So yeah, man, I just think that Oscar, Oscar was beefing with Canelo. Oscar was beefing with Ryan Garcia. Oscar was beefing with Vergil Ortiz. If you want to throw Sugar Shane Mosley in there too for their little beef, there was rumors of him beefing with Bernard Hopkins and stuff like that too. So it's just another chapter in the illustrious career, particularly the promotion aspect for Oscar De La Hoya and his beef with fighters, man. Like I said, I don't care who you want to blame, but who you should not blame is somebody who's not even on Golden Boy, and that is Boots Ennis. I don't even understand how people could even fix their mouth up to even blame this man for this fight not happening. I mean, are you gonna blame Fundora? I remember I talked about this. I said, yo, you gonna blame Boots? Okay, cool. Boots is clout chasing. Boots ain't do whatever. Cool. How come Vergil hasn't fought Fundora? And someone told me, oh, Fundora doesn't want to fight him. I haven't seen Fundora duck any smoke from anybody. I've seen Fundora fight Tim Tszyu twice. Remember when Tim Tszyu was a champion when he first fought him? He actually fought Tim Tszyu as a late replacement. So you're telling me the guy that stepped up as a late replacement for Keith Thurman, who he's coincidentally fighting now, until we get a confirmation on an exact date. Still waiting for that to be finalized, but he's fighting Keith Thurman. Remember, Keith Thurman was originally fighting Tim Tszyu, but then Keith Thurman suffered an injury. He sustained an injury to which had made him pull out. And then Sebastian Fundora stepped in on late notice. Where you're telling me that, oh, by the way, Tim Tszyu was another guy that was on the long list of one of Vergil Ortiz's guys that he was supposed to fight. Now, granted, this one wasn't Vergil's fault. It was actually because Tim Tszyu's cut didn't heal properly. So it's not necessarily his fault. But even if you take out the faults and the blames, it's just another person that he was supposed to fight that never came into fruition. So so you can't blame Boots for that. For him not fighting Fundora. Fundora has a WBC belt, right? I mean, you could blame Fundora. That's cool. So let's just keep blaming his opponents, right? It's Boots' fault that Vergil and Boots didn't fight. It's Fundora's fault that Vergil and Fundora didn't fight. Remember, Xander Zayas wanted to fight Vergil. What did Vergil tell Xander? Oh, who is Xander? I don't know him. Go get a belt. Well, Xander did oblige, and he went and got a belt against Juan Garcia Perez, right? And now when Xander is looking to have unifications, now all of a sudden Vergil wants to fight him when he knows is unavailable. It's just crazy, man. And then he has Bakram. Bakram called out Vergil. Even Turkey said he wanted Bakram versus Vergil. And what happened? Oh, I can't fight Bakram because he's in the IBF. And the IBF with President Daryl Peoples have a 10-pound rehydration clause. You can't fight for a belt in your division? It's so funny, right? Don't you always think this is funny? I always find it funny that that fighters and fans alike will always call on things and suddenly make them disadvantageous for the fighter that they like, or the fighters themselves will make it disadvantageous when it's a guy that they don't think they could beat. You ever notice that? It's like right now, Sonny Edwards, I like Sonny Edwards as a fighter, most notably fought Bam and Bam beat him, right? But he's managing Dalton Smith, right? The WBC, which, they be doing some shaky business, right? With President Mauricio Solomon. They said that the mandatory for Dalton Smith is called, and it should be Alberto Puello. Now, admittedly, I do think that's kind of early, right? He should at least get one voluntary. He just won the belt for Subriel Matias. But I don't think the real issue is that the mandatory was called. I think the issue is that who the mandatory is. So I think Dalton Smith and Alberto Puello is a good fight. But I'll tell you this right now, Alberto Puello has the edge because Sonny Edwards said, hey, man, imagine having to fight your mandatory and you just won the belt. Can we get some time? Sheesh, or whatever, something like that. You wouldn't complain if it was somebody that you thought you could beat. You're only complaining because that mandatory is Alberto Puello, right? So basically what I'm saying is that if the IBF champion wasn't Bakram Murtazaliev, Vergil Ortiz wouldn't care about a rehydration clause. He cares about a rehydration clause because the IBF champion is Bakram Murtazaliev. You better believe that. You better believe that. So it's crazy, man. Oster, man, I'm gonna need you to put the picture, bro. You never told me about the picture, bro. You never sent that message, man. You slipping and sluffing, man. You slipping and sluffing on the block. Now, one more thing before I open up the phone lines, man. I want to talk about Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis is catching a little bit of heat that I think is relatively undeserved. Keyshawn Davis, who is coming back to fight Jermaine Ortiz at 140-pound division, right? The American Keyshawn Davis, former champion, going against his fellow American Jermaine Ortiz at 140. he had an interview, I believe it was with, I watch a lot of interviews, chat, so forgive me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe my memory serves me correctly. He had an interview with the Rick Versace Rick, whatever he calls himself, right, for the ring. And Keyshawn Davis, somehow Gervonta Davis was brought up, and he said, yeah, man, I think I could knock Tank out. He said, I'm going to knock Tank out if we were to ever fight.
Yeah.
He said he could knock Tank out if we were to ever fight.
Yeah.
He said that he believes in himself, that he would come out victorious if he was to ever fight Gervonta Tank Davis.
Yeah.
What is the problem? I have no problem. You know me, I like Gervonta Tank Davis. Cinnamon and Tank are probably my two favorite fighters, right? You know what I'm saying? Two of my favorite fighters, right? Canelo and Gervonta, right? I don't have a problem with Keyshawn saying that he'd beat Tank by any fashion, by any style, by any result. If he says that he'll beat him by decision, okay. If he says he'll knock him out, okay, that's what he's supposed to say. I feel like the only people that have a problem with Keyshawn Davis saying this are people who lack confidence in themselves. Why wouldn't you be confident in yourself? What are you supposed to say? Oh, yeah, man, that guy will beat me? Oh, I wouldn't box him, man. That guy's going to beat me. No, you're going to say that. Do I believe him? No, I think Gervonta Tank Davis would beat Keyshawn Davis. I think he would actually stop Keyshawn Davis because stylistically how they fight, I think it would come down to that. I think somebody would get stopped, but I think the person that would get stopped would be Keyshawn. However, I do not have a problem with Keyshawn Davis saying that. The only problem that I do have, not problem, is more of a curiosity. I'm curious as to why Gervonta Tank Davis is being brought up when he's a WBA champion at 135. Keyshawn Davis is fighting at 140 and he's talking about moving to 147. Why are we talking about fighting Gervonta Tank Davis or anybody that's a 135-pounder? It doesn't make sense. You just missed weight last time we saw you when you're going to fight, who was it? Edwin De Los Santos, right? You didn't make weight. So why are we talking about fighting a guy that's at 135? That's the only part that I don't understand. You know, I'm a little confused there, but don't get my confusion mixed or conflated with the fact that I don't approve. I absolutely approve. You should say that you're going to knock out anybody. Why would you think differently? I would be more alarmed if he didn't think that he would beat Tank. So I don't have a problem with it, but I am curious as to why he's talking about fighting anybody at 135 when, sir, we're not even sure you can make 140. We not even sure you can make 140 yet. We gonna wait till January 31st, but we ain't sure. I ain't sure. Are you sure? I'm not sure you can make 140. And then you're talking about potentially fighting Devin Haney. Devin Haney's a champion for the WBO with President Gustavo Oliveira at 147. Why are we talking about fighting Tank at 135? That's the part I don't understand. See what I'm saying? But other than that, I have no problem with him saying that he'll knock somebody out. You see what I'm saying? Superior Green says Keyshawn would stop Tank. He said it himself. Oh, okay, yeah, great. Okay, so he'll stop Tank because he said it. Oh, okay. Yeah, because everybody that says they're gonna beat somebody is gonna win. Didn't Subriel Matias said he's gonna bring out No Mas Tias against Dalton Smith? Did he stop Dalton Smith? Did he even beat Dalton Smith? So I mean, I guess they don't have to fight anymore. They could just say that they'll stop somebody. Okay, that makes sense. If that makes sense for you, my brother, it's all good to me. My brother Tay in the building. What's good, brethren? Oster said Keyshawn will stop Tank. Also, Tank will stop Keyshawn. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a good fight, though, but I just don't think it's realistic. That's all. I just like to entertain realistic fights. That's all. I just like to entertain realistic fights. So I'm still much. The fight that I want to see Tank fight the most is Lamont Roach. I want to see that rematch. I want to see that ran back. And then, of course, I want to see Tank and Shakur. I would like Keyshawn and Gervonta, but they're not even in the same weight class, so I don't even entertain that. Shout out to my guy Ty. He said it's in the recommendations now. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. He says Tank finna be negotiating a 5 to 10 prison. Hold on, man. I'm not laughing at the punishment or the situation. I'm laughing at Ty, man. Ty says Tank finna be negotiating a 5 to 10 in prison. Out there with Tory Lanez, huh? Keyshawn mentioned him for what? You lost your belt on the scale, and you was just talking about for 147. That's the only thing I don't understand. You see what I'm saying? And to talk about the legal situation, you know me, I don't like to talk about the extracurricular activities. But I will say this, as a man, in my personal opinion, granted, it's alleged. It's just a further investigation. A warrant is out, but it's still, the investigation is not complete, so that means it's incomplete. But I will be the first to denounce any man hitting a woman in an aggressive fashion, right? Now, if you self-defense, we understand that's different, right? We're not talking about that. We're talking about the extreme case of somebody aggressively approaching a woman as a man. That is wrong. You know what I'm saying? So if he hit, choked, or dragged, whatever he's accused of, that he should be reprimanded for. He should be punished. Absolutely. I'll be the first to say that. I like him as a boxer. I'm not infatuated with these people in their personal lives. If you do something wrong, you do the crime, you should do the time, you know. But you know me, I don't really make video. You never see me make a video about Jamal Charlo, or was it Jamal Charlo? I think it was Jamal Charlo, who got into a drunk driving incident. I didn't, as much as I don't like the racist, weight bullying, drug cheat, unaccomplished Ryan Garcia, I didn't make a video about him vandalizing the hotel or going through those lawsuits. I don't do that stuff, you know. And I'm not knocking anybody who does, but for me, I try to keep it boxing as much as I can. Now, if an incident that they get into stops a fight, then of course I'll address it because it has something to do, it has some implication on boxing, you know what I'm saying? But as far as personal, we all mess up. I mess up. I'm a sinner, you know what I'm saying? I ask God for forgiveness all the time, so who am I to judge? But I could also say unequivocally that hitting a woman is wrong. So if you hit a woman, then you should be punished. Now, also on the flip side, contrarily, if the woman is lying on you, then I think that she should be punished by the same amount that he would have got if he was found guilty and off the basis of a lie. So if she's lying, which I don't, given the history of Gervonta Tank Davis, it's kind of hard to think that she is lying, let's be honest. But if she is lying, then she should be punished. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I think it should go. But yeah, but as a boxing fan, I hope that it's not true. But as a human, it is what it is, man. You make your bed, you gotta lay in it. You know what I'm talking about? So we'll see. Osa said Tank better cop a plea. You better cop out, man. Y'all chill out, man. Y'all chill out, man. Hey, breaking news, chat. That's what we do. We have breaking news. Oh, hey, yo, we got fire breaking news, chat. Fire Oscar Mayer. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm just gonna show you. Oh boy, the takeover has begun, Ty. Oh my goodness, the takeover has begun. This is big. I've said this before, that it might be getting dark. It might be getting dark, chat. This is big. It's not big from a popularity standpoint, but this is pretty big. Jai Apataya has signed a promotional deal with Zuffa, aka TKO, aka Turkey, aka Dana White Boxing, chat. Their biggest signage was Vito Milnicki. That's not too big. Then their next biggest was Jose Rayo Valenzuela, El Lightning. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't too big, but that was still the notable fighter, right? We see Rayo fight Pitbull. We see Rayo fight and beat Pitbull for a belt. We saw him lose to Gary Anto Russell, right? We saw him in a very exciting fight against Edward De Los Santos. Rayo was a good signing. This is a big signing. Jai Apataya is the Ring Magazine IBF Cruiserweight Champion, man. Hey, that's big. This is undoubtedly their biggest signing. This was announced by the Ring Magazine. Ring Magazine Cruiserweight Champion Jai Apataya has signed a promotional deal with Zuffa Boxing. What makes this even more interesting is, look, notice they said Ring Magazine Cruiserweight Champion. They didn't say IBF and Ring Magazine Champion. They just disrespected the hell out of IBF. But guess what? If they disrespected the IBF, that means they're also disrespecting the WBA, President Gilberto Mendoza. Like I said, the IBF and President Daryl Peoples, the WBO President Gustavo Oliveri, and the WBC and President Mauricio Suleiman. This is them basically telling us, not so subtly, that they are not acknowledging the alphabet belts. They are not acknowledging the big four. They just focus that they're focused on the fact that he's the Ring Magazine Cruiserweight Champion, not the IBF Ring Magazine Cruiserweight Champion. Wowzers. Fire. Hey, it has begun, chat. It has begun, chat. My guy sent from Pet said Ring Magazine is global. Like I said, it's a big signing. It's like Jai Apataya. Let's face it, right? Cruiserweight is not a big division. It's not a glamorous division. So that's why I'm saying it's not that big, but it's pretty big, right? Jai Apataya is an undefeated IBF Cruiserweight Champion, Ring Magazine Cruiserweight Champion. A lot of people think that he's the best in the division, right? I personally believe it's between him and Zurdo. I kind of lean towards Zurdo because Zurdo is a unified champion, right? He has a WBA and the WBO. So I would kind of lean towards him. But Jai Apataya does have that IBF and the Ring Magazine belt, you know? And the reason why I say that I lean towards Zurdo, because no disrespect to Jai Apataya, but that Ring Magazine belt that he has he didn't necessarily get it from beating the man, right? Because the Ring Magazine belt is the man who beats the man, like the lineal championship. The man was Alexander Usyk. The only reason why Maris Bradis was considered the man, or the fight that Maris Bradis Jabataia was considered to be a battle for who would be the man, is because the man and Alexander Usyk went up to heavyweight. So that's why the Ring Magazine at cruiserweight is cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm not diminishing it. I'm just saying we have to tell the full story. And in my personal opinion, I kind of take Zurdo's path to unification by beating Arsene Goulamirian and then having a unification with the WBO, then champion CBS, aka Chris Billiam Smith. I think that's a little bit more respectable and a little bit more, I don't know, significant in my personal opinion. But if you have Jai as the number one, that's cool. I think Jai and Zurdo are number 1 and 2. Shout out to my guy Juan Go in the building, my guy Jay Sharp. Salute to you, my brother. Yes, sir. Good to see you too, man. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it, man. Y'all enjoy your MLK Day, man. Dr. Martin Luther King, man. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. We got gold member in the building. What's good, bro? So yeah, I think that's a big signing, man. I think that's a big signing, man. And if Zuffa and Dana White, what if they could make the fight between, let's be real, right? We don't know who's going to win between Gilberto Ramirez and David Benavidez on May 2nd, good Lord willing. Hopefully no injuries occur, right? And everything goes smoothly. David Benavidez could win. Zurdo could win. But if they could make that fight between Jabataia and the winner of Zurdo and David Benavidez, boy. Boy. Hey. All right now. Okay now. But yeah, man, that's all I really had, man. I think that's it I wanted to cover. I'm going to open up the phone lines for anybody that wants to call in. Oh, no. I'll have one more. I want to talk about Richardson Hitchens. I'm not going to lie, man. Richardson Hitchens, I'm not too happy about this fight. I'm not too enthused because, like I said, don't forget to smack that like button, man. We have 5 likes. We have how many people in here? What's up with that, man? Smack the like button with your hating ass. All y'all do is hate watching. Smack the like button. We going to grow anyway. You feel me? But smack the like button, man. Hey, and follow me on all socials. I appreciate it.
For your listening pleasure, we are now on Spotify under Dr. Boxing Talk. The same thing on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, everything. Dr. Boxing Talk, man. Come rock with us. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Let's get it, man. We are the best boxing channel. We just ain't been discovered yet. You know what I'm saying? We are the best. We like Dimitri Bivol of boxing content. You know what I'm saying? Like Dimitri Bivol, nobody knew who Dimitri Bivol was. He was a beast, but we didn't recognize he was a beast until he beat Cinnamon, right? We just waiting for our Cinnamon moment. That's all. You know what I'm talking about? We like the Dimitri Bivol of boxing content, man. I stand on that right now. I don't care if you talk about people on Pro Box, the Zone commentators, or you talk about your favorite content creator. If it's not me, I guarantee I know more about boxing than they do. You know what I'm saying? That's just a fact. That's why the real ones rock with me, and I rock with y'all. Thank you. But I want to talk about Richardson Hitchens, right? Richardson Hitchens, man, I wish he would. He was pump faking with fighting Keyshawn. You know, whoever you want to blame, I don't really care. The fight didn't happen. Whether you want to blame Keyshawn for outpricing himself, or Richardson Hitchens for outpricing himself. That's one fight that fell through his fingers, right? Frank Martin, that fight fell through his fingers. So not only did Keyshawn Davis fall through his fingers, but then the guy he was supposed to fight in Jermaine Ortiz, he fell through his fingers, and then he turned around and fought the other guy he was supposed to fight in Keyshawn Davis. So Richard Hitchens is just fumbling the bag. But I will say this. The rumor is that he's supposed to fight Oscar Duarte. Is this a fight that's going to get your gears going, your panties wet? Is this going to get your veins popping out your neck? Nah, it's not going to be too exciting, but I think it's a pretty good fight. Oscar Duarte has been on a hell of a streak. He just beat Kenneth Sims Jr. That was a good fight. I think it was a very close fight. Could have went either way, but I was cool with Oscar Duarte winning. He's an exciting fighter. And I think this is a good fight between him and Hitchens if it does come into fruition. So I'm not too mad at it, but all things considered and the way that we got here at this destination of Duarte is kind of disappointing. But, you know, like I said, Richard Hitchens and Duarte is really not a bad fight, but it's not the fight that we expected, to be honest, right? And same with Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero just said that he's having a fight announcement. Hopefully it's Shakram Giyashov, who's his mandatory. Shakram Giyashov, whether you like him or not, whether you heard of him or not, whether he is unknown to you or not, you should be happy for Shakram if you like boxing, because he's been in the mandatory position for the WBA since Eimantas Stanionis, the Lithuanian champion, had the WBA belt. So it's been long overdue that he should get his opportunity, right? And we believe in getting their fighters getting their opportunities through merit and through the rankings. But, you know, he did take step-aside money for Jaron Ennis and Eimantas Stanionis, both undefeated at the time. The American IBF champion Jaron Ennis fought the Lithuanian undefeated WBA champion Amanda Stanionis and brought us a great unification fight. So after that fight happened, then Shakram Gishov was still the mandatory for the WBA. Jaron Boots Ennis vacated, obviously, when he went up into 154, had his debut against Luis Malima. And yeah, Rolly Romero fought Ryan Garcia, and that was retroactively made into a WBA interim fight. And because it was made into a WBA interim fight with, let's be honest, right, they anticipated that Ryan Garcia would win. They really wanted to spoon feed Ryan Garcia another title shot, but he fumbled that bag again because he's a mediocre boxer at best, right? Rolly Romero won, and Rolly Romero was subsequently elevated. So Rolly Romero has inherited the WBA mandatory, which is Shakram Gishov. But Rolly Romero hasn't seemed like he wants to entertain the mandatory, and I think that's kind of weak as well. You know, and I like Rolly Romero. I had the pleasure of interviewing Rolly Romero. He's dope if you ask me. I like him. But we got to keep it unbiased, and we got to keep it objective, and I got to compartmentalize. Like, I like him, but I'm not going to make excuses for him, right? He should fight Shakram Gishov. I don't care if he's unfamiliar with Shakram. I don't care if he's never heard of Shakram. That has nothing to do with the criteria that needs to be met for you to get a title shot. You don't have to hear who I am. You don't have to know who I am because you follow me on social media. You don't have to, I don't have to have a certain amount of followers to get a title shot. That only works for the unaccomplished, right? That only works for the unaccomplished popular drug cheats that are racist as well, like Ryan Garcia. If you worked your way up the rankings like Shakram Gishov has through merit, then he deserves a title shot. So hopefully Rolly Romero fights Shakram. I think that's going to be a tough fight. The Uzbekistan contender, Shakram Gishov, is a good fighter. So we'll see. I'm leaning towards Rolly Romero to win, but we'll see if it actually goes down. We'll see. Gold member says, I feel like Rich Sages has the best jab at boxing. I think he has a very good jab at boxing. I think Devin Haney has a good jab. I think, yeah, there's some good jabbers out there, man. And I do think that Rich Sages is at the top of that list, though. He's one of the top ones, for real. I agree with that. Rich Sages is pump faking. Shot to Ty. Ty says, Rich Sages is pump faking. But is that supposed to be in one of the upcoming ring cards? Because Golden Shot Promotions, they got no bread, no cheese, no butter.
These biscuits.
That is a fact. They ain't got no bread, no cheese, no butter, and no biscuits. That's a fact. So, yeah, I kind of think it's pump faking too, but we'll see, man. You know, we'll see. Shout out to my brother Oster, man. He dropped the picture, so we got to have a new emote. But Oster, you still got to tell me. Oster, tell me what you want to get rid of. Because remember, we don't have enough members, so I don't have an extra slot. So you have to tell me what you want to get rid of, It's up to you. I'm going to leave it up. I'm not. No, you know what? Never mind. I'll pick. Don't even worry about it. I'll pick. I'll go and look and see what emotes we don't really use. And I'm not going to lie. It may seem like we use the least. We probably use. I like the Tyson Fury. I don't want to get rid of my boy Tyson, man. But we don't really use that much. We definitely use Bud. We definitely use the No Diddy. You know what I'm saying? We definitely use that No Diddy. We gonna have to pause that. You feel me? We definitely gonna have to pause that.
No diddy.
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see. Shout out to Boxer with Tufo says Abdullah jab is above. That's facts. Abdullah has a good jab too. The only thing that reason why people overlook Abdullah Mason's jab is because Abdullah Mason is willing to exchange. You know what I'm saying? He's willing to mix it up, but he definitely has a good jab when he wants to keep you at bay. That's a fact. Yeah, man. But yeah, man. So anybody wants to call into the show, the time is now. The phone lines are open. You feel me? If not, we're going to call it and we're going to let y'all go and let me go get me some food. But yeah, man, I'm going to make a post to let you know that I'm trying to keep up with my schedule. You know, we're doing Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, we're doing the fights. We're calling the fights on Saturdays. Unfortunately, I can no longer commit to doing the early morning cards in Japan and Australia and, you know what I'm saying, in different places that usually occur on the weekdays because I go to work early. So, you know what I'm saying? Thank God for that. We got us a little gig. And like I said, obviously the videos are going to slow down because I'm busy throughout the day now. But the amount of videos, but I'm still going to keep doing my live shows and dropping videos throughout. But we're going to try to keep up. So just keep the support coming and keep us rocking. You feel me? But I ain't about to slide, man. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate y'all rocking for sure. And yeah, man, until next time. Shout out to my brother Ty, man. Ty said he's pulling up. Okay. Ty said he's pulling up, and then we're going to take that call. And then I'm going to get me some food. Like, what Sierra say? Yummy in my tummy? I hate that freaking song. I like Sierra, but that song is so trash. Like, talk about yummy all in my tummy. Like, what are you 3 years old? Like, what are we 8? You guys think that's the best lyrics you had? Oh, that song so yummy. Oh, that tummy so yummy. Yummy all in my tummy. That shit is trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
But I want to get some yummy in my tummy with some food. You know what I'm saying? What's it? Level Up. That song called Level Up. Level Up. I like Sierra, but that song wasn't it. That song was garbage. In my opinion, anyway. That's just my humble opinion. Oh, we got Oster and Ty in the back. I'm going to pull up both of y'all. Simultaneously. Yo, what up, fellas?
Yo.
What's good? I said Oster. My bad. That's Oscar. I apologize. My fault. I just saw the O. My guy.
You got the wrong O?
I got the wrong O, man. Matter of fact, it's the OS. That's what threw because both of y'all OS too. So I just looked. I saw OS. I said, oh, that's Oster. What's good though, fellas? Talk to me, man. I want to pull up both of y'all at the same time. What's good?
Mickey business.
Mickey Fricky. Yo, they wildin', bro. What's up with Vergil, man?
Vergil? You think Vergil's wilding?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is normal Vergil. The one who wilding is that boy Jai Abataya.
Hey.
I heard people say Tank beating on woman. Well, he just signed to a woman beater on camera, on tape.
Ooh, talk to him, Oscar cooking. Dana White definitely put down. We have proof. We looking for the proof. Still waiting for the proof for Tank.
He said, "Bitch, don't touch me like that." On
New Year's Eve too. He started the new year on fire. Dana White slapped his wife on New Year's.
On 4K.
In 4K, bro. People don't say nothing, man. We pick and choose, man. But you're right about that.
I ain't gonna hold y'all, but I think I might have a different opinion.
On the woman beating?
For Jai Abataya. But he's in a weird situation. Because he's at cruiserweight. It's bad enough nobody gives a fuck about that division.
Facts.
And the biggest fight that's in his division, for whatever reason, the promoters can't get on the same page.
Yep. That once again,
even a turkey bag can't incentivize that.
Talk to him.
Oscar would rather take his man and run across the street and go fuck with a guy coming up in weight.
Come on now.
Rather than fight him.
Yep. David Benavidez and Zerto Ramirez is who my boy is referring to. It's crazy.
Was it Noel McClellan, whatever his name is?
Yep, the WBC
promoter
champion.
said no. So where does he go from here? If he fight another mandatory or take a voluntary just to stay busy, what we gonna say about him?
All right. I'll tell you where he's going.
He on fraud watch.
We said it right to the gulag.
Is he really on fraud watch or is his options limited?
Both.
I say both. I'm with Oscar. I think both. Right now, though, I have to agree with Ty. Like right now, it's looking like, hey, at least he's making a move. I will say. I don't know. I have to look into it. Like I said, I just announced it today, so I'm gonna look. I'm assuming he's probably still with what's his name, Mick Francis and Tasman. So I'm assuming they all have some deal collectively, just like it was similar to his Matchroom deal. But we'll see, man. I agree with you. I do like some type of change, and he's making a change. Is it the right change? We shall see. But it does look a little suspicious because I will say this: what Oscar, which I think he's what he's alluding to, is like, if you're gonna sign with Zuffa, I highly doubt Dana and Oscar are gonna work together. But who's there? Like Ty said, Turkey. So Turkey's there. That money will get you right. You know what I'm saying? Put that greenery in the scenery. Do something strange for a little piece of change. So maybe they can make it happen, Captain. I don't know. Pull up my brother Oster. Oster in the building. What up?
What's poppin'?
Man, chilling, man. Good to hear from you, bro. Appreciate you pulling up, man.
Without a doubt. You know I got to pull up. You know I got to pull up. Pull up to the picnic. Fuck is he talking about? The kids coming to the picnic, you heard me? Cooking chicken and fried chicken over there. They got baked beans over there. I'm coming over there. What y'all
I'm on it. Yes, sir. Baked beans and the mac and the ribs.
Try to tell you, kid. Try to tell you. You might have to hold on the ribs unless they beef ribs. Hold on the ribs.
Hey, we're gonna get the beef. We don't do well. I'll be lying if I say I don't do the swine, but I don't do the swine
Yeah, I
all the
already
time,
know.
you know.
I know you down with that swine. I know you down with that swine, kid. You
Yes,
down with that
sir.
swine.
Yes, sir. I need them Ronies on the pizza, man. I need them Ronies,
Listen,
man.
man.
Them pepperonis.
I can't even be mad, man, because I ain't eat pork in I don't know how long. I don't know how many years,
what's up,
but every
man.
time I smell a bacon, I feel like I'm a kid. I'm like, God damn. I'm like, that motherfucker bacon. That
bacon
shit
be
he never lose
hitting,
the smell.
boy.
You hear me?
Bacon
You
go
smell that
crazy,
bacon 3 blocks
bro.
down, kid.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. What's up with this Vergil, man? What's up with Vergil and Boots? But like I said, I don't want to be too hard on Vergil, man. But it's just hard. It's difficult not to see what it is, man.
We got to be hard. We got to be hard on Vergil. You know? We got to be hard on Vergil. Boots too. I mean, like I just said, Vergil making Boots look real good right now. So I gotta be easy on Boots. I gotta be easy on Boots right now because he you know, I gotta be easy on Boots. But Vergil, you get no breaks.
Turn up.
Huh?
Turn
First
up.
of all, you already ain't do shit in 9-10 years in the sport. You already ain't do nothing. Already.
Come on.
So I don't know why this is such a big spectacle. Like this dude is doing something. He don't got no reason to duck. He don't got no reason to run. He just don't want to fight certain people. He just not. Because it's not like you doing so. It's not like you got belts and you ducking people and you talking my hand hurt. No, you can have none of this.
Right. That part.
You have none of this stuff. I don't understand how you even in a big picture like this. Y'all talking about Boots, and you know, speaking for Boots vacated some belts. I mean, at least he got. I don't give a fuck if he emailed them, if he found them, if he tripped over them. It doesn't matter. He had.
He found them. It's crazy. Facts.
It
I
don't
agree.
matter.
I agree.
He got him. He got him. You ain't released nothing, Vergil. Nothing. And they talking, yo, Vergil get on my last nerve, man. I swear to God, this dude get on my nerve, man. I do not know how they even talking about him like that. He's doing nothing.
Come on now.
Absolutely nothing. So they said that, is that true that he's suing Golden Boy?
Yes, sir.
Now you see the bullshit? See, I'm telling you, man. Yo, listen, God is the glory. True story. God is the glory. You think it's the game? God gonna remove. He's not supposed to be with you. They gonna move right from you. Trust me. On the next move. Now you see how they beefing with each other. And Oscar, you should have said, "I'm a good promoter." This and that. No, Oscar, you playing games so long, so much you talk your way into a lawsuit. Stupid. The second one.
Yep.
And
I will say this too. Shout out to Boots. Boots said, I don't remember how many months ago it was. He said the truth gonna come to light. That it's not him that's holding up this fight. He tweeted that a long time ago. And now look, they have internal battles.
I always said either Eddie Hearns don't believe in Boots or De La Hoya don't believe in Vergil for this fight. You get what I'm saying? For this fight, because it's too complex to put it together. And I was like, it's gonna come out. I always said De La Hoya, he don't believe in no, I know Hearns probably believe in Boots more than De La Hoya believe in because De La Hoya know for a fact Vergil ain't going nowhere after this fight. He know that for a fact. He know that. He said this over. He's not going to just beat Vergil. When he do beat him, he's going to really expose Vergil. Like he's going to really expose him because it's a Black American fighter. This is what they do when they beat you. They expose you. This is a fact though. It's 100% fact. They expose you to that.
Something real quick.
Oh yeah, do your thing. Do your thing.
If we keeping it J, if Eddie Hearn was not doing his due diligence to put Boots in these caliber fights, he would be in the same type of litigation. Because that's what the letter of the law of Boots' contract is.
Yeah, but you know, see,
to add more layers to the point,
you got that in right.
Even Hearns don't even seem like. I remember Ulster saying this. It's like when Black American fighters they get the most press, but they also get the more praise. Like you know. But it's not like Eddie Hearn like does the same. Eddie Hearn does the same with the UK fighter. You see him talking about Don Smith and like, oh yeah, Don Smith, he's the next best thing. But we don't want to fight Puello though. It's too early. It's too early, and all this and that. This too early. Like it's too early for a champ. Okay. Notice whenever he talks about Boots, he don't say that. He's like Boots. Yeah, we got Vergil. Yeah, he next. Yeah, we got him. But whenever it's like Don Smith and Puello, he's like, he's like Maradona when he was in interview coked up, like,
I will say this though to add to Oster. I do think that Vergil. This is why it's kind of perplexed. I do like Vergil. I want to say I do like Vergil, and I want to say this too. If we're talking like Ryan Garcia doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't really deserve the popularity that he gets. I do think Vergil deserves it. I just wish that he would fight Boots. But if he doesn't fight Boots, even if you don't blame him, I just think it's crazy to blame Boots. But I will say this: if Vergil, let's say for example, if Vergil doesn't fight Boots, I can't speak for y'all, but for me, if Vergil doesn't fight Boots, and let's say he fights Fundora, I'm cool. But like you said, do something. If you're fighting for a belt, do something, bro. If you're not fighting Boots, fight the winner of Abbas and Xander. Somehow make that happen. Fight Bakram, but then you're not fighting Boots. You don't want to fight Bakram because he's IBF. That's the issue that I have. But as far as Vergil, and I'll say this too. Another issue is that like I think he has a risk because, like you said, Oster, if he loses, he probably get exposed. But if he wins, bro, he might be in the face of boxing conversation. If he beats,
no, he is.
He might be. Yeah, he is right. And then, but if he loses, he could bounce back. You're right. You're right. He's in the face of boxing conversation. But if he loses, because of the demographic and stuff like that, I think that he could bounce back. So I don't even see this as even if he gets exposed and beat up, I don't think that'll be the end of Vergil. Now if Boots gets exposed and beat up, it's chitty.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over.
But now,
it's over.
Now listen to this though. It's like, and exactly what you said, right? And I look at Vergil like this. I look at Vergil, and for now, since I look at him like a reverse Richard Hitchison.
Okay.
Somebody with a belt that don't want to fight nobody, and he goes somebody that they pumping with no belt, acting like he want to fight everybody. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of the same. It's kind of the same demographics in a way. And so when I look at it, I'm like, yo, to be honest with y'all, to be my honest opinion. But this fight right now, it won't make either one of them better. If whoever wins, it's not gonna push either one of them. Where it's gonna push them at? None of them got nothing. It's not gonna push them nowhere. This is just a fight that people wanted to see from 147. This is just a drag along fight. It's really because at this point right now, Doc. At this point right now, neither one of them got nothing. And we talking about Vergil and Boots fight. They fighting for nothing because they ain't got shit. So it's just a fight. It's just a fight at this point. At 147, they was fighting for something. But it's just a fight now. This is just a prolonged conversation, something that I think people just wanted to see. You know what I mean? But I don't think that on either one. First of all, Vergil could lose 5 times. This is not racist. He could lose 5 times. They're going to still push him. Boots can't lose once. He can't lose. Vergil, he could take this loss to Boots. Hell, he could take this loss. He could take this loss. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, it's weird. It's weird, but it's a fact though. It's weird, but it's a fact. Now, Brian Norman and Dad, at least they was fighting for a belt. They was fighting for something. They really ain't fighting for nothing, y'all. At the end of the day, if we think about the big picture, they ain't fighting for shit. They just a fight.
Outside of status.
It's just a fight.
But before I let Oscar go, I do agree with that. But I will say this, just food for thought. They are both interim champions. So when it'll be an interim champion unification, which I don't even want to entertain that thought, but. Boots is the WBA interim champion, and then Vergil is the WBC interim champion. So at least it might get them if they fought, maybe they could get almost guaranteed to get the winner of Xander and Abbas, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe get the winner of Fundora and Thurman, maybe. But go ahead, Oscar.
No, Doc, you're also saying you forgot something to add on what you're saying. Then they tell me that Benavidez could be the face of boxing, and he was just fighting for unification, like undisputed interim belts.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I think I agree at some point. Like at 154, they're just fighting for interims. We don't people don't care. Some people don't. Some people do. You can give and take. But like you said, it's like Oster said, it's like the fight that was meant for 147 that never happened just because Vergil couldn't make weight. Just like he can hardly make weight at 154 too. It's crazy. Like they move up and they can't make weight.
Come on now.
It's like the Golden Boy Promotions set up. Like that's the stamp of approval. Yo, wait, Bill, you can be over here. That being said, I think for legacy wise, that's not even legacy. I agree. I have to agree with Oster. Anybody with the name really is Boots on that one because Boots is the Ring Magazine belt, and you can't get emailed that. You have to fight him.
Come on now.
For that.
Come on now.
Yeah.
So it's like, and yeah, I agree too. Like Boots cannot lose. Sadly, since Vergil, he's not Mexican per se, but he's got Mexican blood in him.
Right, I got you.
But it's like
American type. I got you.
his media, like the people that push him and all this and that.
Right.
We like our fighters. It is what it is. Vergil's one of them fighters. We rock with them.
But the wildest thing about it, the wildest thing.
Go ahead. Oscar. Let Oscar finish his thought real quick.
Yeah,
then playing.
But I'm not one of those that just rides on it. I just call them out what it is. It's hard to, if they don't fight for a belt, their next fight, and they don't fight each other. Let's say like Vergil and Boots don't fight each other.
That part. And they don't fight for a belt? Oh my gosh.
And neither guy fights for a belt.
Oh my gosh.
Then you have to start
That's gonna happen.
Like, okay.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I will say this too though.
One more thing.
Oh, go ahead.
One more thing about Vergil. His biggest thing is his biggest accomplishment ever was following up Bud. Like he was just chasing Bud. That's his biggest accomplishment. The Bochuk and Vergil, he only won because the Bud and Vergil Ortiz was announced.
Yep. Oscar
that never happened.
Oscar and Turkey shook on it in front of us all. Fight never happened.
And then his biggest win per se is Madrimov right now.
Yep. Which is
and
a good
it's like, okay,
to me.
It's a good win. And like Robert said, yeah, Bud beat him and Vergil beat him in a better way. Like, yeah, but Vergil didn't take the belt. He got nothing from that fight.
Come on
like
now.
Oster just said.
Come on now.
He got nothing.
Nothing.
He got the hype because I think he lost that fight actually, but people say he beat him better. I don't see how, because I had no questions in my mind that Bud won.
Right.
But I had plenty of questions that Vergil won. I had Madrimov winning.
Right. Some people did.
Now I can tell you one thing though.
What's that?
Like we know we all clearly seen that like Vergil, it was a discrepancy. We seen that, and that part, that discrepancy part, I'm telling you, is the plantation PR. This is where they come in at. This is where they come in and pushing, and they pushing things, they pushing narratives that people seeing, and they making it seem like, oh no, he did this better than Crawford, this and that. This is just pushing Vergil name.
Yeah.
It's just pushing his name, like it's just pushing his name, and that's what go on today. And they really that's why they got everybody believing like this is the fight to see. I don't see how this is the fight to see at all. I just can't see. Okay, it's a good fight. It was a better fight at 147. Yeah, it was a fight to see then when everybody was front like you.
I still think it's a great fight now, but I do think it was a better fight at 147.
It's definitely a better fight at 147 because this is where they all was at. They all was here. All of them was here. Crawford, everybody was in here at this time. Everybody was in there. You get what I'm saying? Everybody. 147. Remember, 147 was popping on both sides of the street.
Popping.
On both sides of the street now. On both sides. It was jumping. And then if it didn't happen there, it jumped out. So I will give Vergil that much. I can't, man. I like Vergil. Don't get it wrong. I like.
Right.
Yeah.
We just want to see more. We want to see more.
I start telling fighters that I get to the. I'm trying to still like boxing. I'm still trying to be into boxing.
Bro, it's hard.
So I like. It's hard. So I like the fighters when they in the ring. Because Vergil out the ring, I don't fuck with you. You a bunch of BS. In the ring, I like you. When you get under the rope and get in the ring, okay, I can actually vote for you. I can actually root for you.
Right.
But I can't do it outside with you. I can't.
Yeah, I want to add this to what Oscar said and what Osa said too. I do agree with that wholeheartedly. We talked about this plenty of times, right? I do think that it's kind of, when I say our fault, I'm talking about as far as the American boxing media and consumption and fan base, I guess. It's like UK and Mexico. Japan, I would say too. They rock with their boxers more than we rock with our boxers too. So that is a big part of why Boots is done if he loses one. Just like Brian Norman was, we'll see if he's done, but the support has definitely dwindled down. We don't hear nobody talk about Brian Norman anymore, right? And granted, because he hasn't announced the next fight or anything like that either. But people threw him away is because we kind of have that. As far as the American fan base, I don't just think it's just the boxers. I think it's because, we have so many other sports. Like boxing is it's not as big in America as it is in, other countries. So I think that's part of it too. Is just like, Vergil, like what Oscar said, I couldn't say it better. It's like, yes, he's American, but he's Mexican American. So he has that Mexican part that people are going to ride with him. And Unfortunately, I don't think we have that loyalty when it comes to American fighters, especially Black American fighters. So that's why it's gonna be harder for them to bounce back if they lose. Shout out to George, the last Dragonborn, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. My bad, wrong thing. That butter.
And another
Oh, they can't hear you yet. Okay, please hear me.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate that for the sticker, man. Go ahead. It's done playing now.
Yeah, another thing that it's funny when you look at it. If you look at the whole picture, right? Let's look at the whole picture and just see something real quick, unless I'm going crazy. Because the fighter, the true like next one that's supposed to be behind Canelo, he supposed to pass the torch to. Everybody in the world knows Benavidez. Everybody in the world know that. We all know that. And for some reason, I don't know why they not behind Benavidez. Like they behind Vergil Ortiz. It's so I'm talking about just the fans. You know what I mean? It's weird.
That's a good point, but I think it's because of who the opponents are. Like kind of like Ty was saying. I mean, not exactly like cruiserweight, but outside of even let's face it, right? I can speak for all of us. I feel comfortable. If I'm wrong, correct me. All of us in here love Bivol and Beterbiev. But Bivol and Beterbiev, if it wasn't for Turkey, that wouldn't happen. Nobody was really asking for that fight. You know what I'm saying? They're not popular. You know what I'm saying? No one's looking for a Russian or essentially two Russians, fight each other. So I think that Dave Benavidez is also, granted, it's not as much as, let's say, a cruiserweight guy like Apatai and Zerto, but I think that Benavidez is putting himself, and he's part to blame too, right? He stayed at 168 trying to chase Cinnamon so long, and he knew he couldn't stay that weight that long, and he went up to 175 and he was putting himself in another position to wait. And one thing I will give Benavidez credit for is that he is moving around, and now he's willing to go to cruiserweight and stuff like that and put on a good fight with Zerto. But even Zerto, in the grand scheme of boxing things, I think he's the biggest cruiserweight as far as popularity, but he's still a cruiserweight. Like Ty said, cruiserweight's just not that big of a division where we're looking at. So I just think the reason why Vergil, he has more competition. Like 154 is the best division. So that's what I think is for me. I don't know if that's right, but that's what I'm thinking, Oster. I think that people are more prone to get behind Vergil because Vergil has a more exciting opponents. You know what I'm saying? You have he is Vergil. You have Boots there, right? The American. You have Xander Zayas, American or Puerto Rican American. You can explore the Mexican Puerto Rican rivalry. You know what I'm saying? With Vergil and Xander. You don't really have those. You don't really have that exciting. And if you do want to see a Russian, you even have the Russian that Benavidez has with Bakram Murtazali. If you feel me, so you got all the elements and more. Yeah. So you got all the elements and more. And Sebastian Fedora.
Let me slide in here real quick.
Go ahead, bro.
I like how you framed that, Doc, because you was taking. You know what I mean? You put the plane in the air, and I'm gonna land it real quick.
Yes, sir.
Oster, let's rewind to when you said the fight between Vergil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis was essentially for nothing. I beg to differ. What position does Vergil have within the ring?
What number is Vergil? I don't even know.
He's number one.
He be in ranking?
Yeah, right.
He's number one.
That's my fucking point. Okay, good. I'm glad I'm about to take this plane back off.
Number 2 is Fundora. With all the champions actually being tied up with either a defense or fighting another champion, the most important fight that's a non-title fight would be Vergil Boots.
Okay, no, I listen. I can 100% agree with that. If we based on those parameters, if we based on those parameters there, then it make 100% sense. You know what I mean? If they land that, well, now to me, if they land at 154 and they came in 154 and they got into this position at 154 and was fighting for that, it would even be better. But that's not the case. The case is this is something that was prolonged from 147. You get what I'm saying? It was already prolonged. So the big prize, and based on that fight, the big catch on that fight was Boots fighting, Vergil or, Crawford, somebody with these belts, something like that. That was the big thing because they were always popping. But all I'm saying is that in this division here, if you're coming in here, y'all coming in here like you're coming into the game. Y'all supposed to come in here fighting title fights. Cause y'all, I mean, this is a fact. Vergil, regardless of what, however you number one with no title, I don't get it, but love is love. It is what it is. It just makes what I'm saying is 100% fact. Because what are you doing at number one? At 154?
Come on now. which
I just want to know that. Just give me a reason why Vergil is at number 1 at 154.
Ring rankings are crazy. I just saw the one.
This
No disrespect to Dalton Smith. Dalton Smith, I like him,
Yeah.
but they got him ranked over Gary Anton Russell.
Oh,
over,
that 140
bro.
crazy.
Oh my,
140
ring
is
rankings are
insane.
crazy,
man.
bro. Like, and I want to say this. This is off topic, kind of, but Ty just reminded me of this. Dang, I just lost my train of thought. Where was I going? I forgot. Go ahead. Sorry. Ty
We
just
talking about
reminded me of
Vergil
something.
number
I was
1.
gonna
We said
say-
Vergil at number 1.
Vergil number 1, and then he did say Vergil. It was something with rankings, but I forgot. Dang, I forgot.
I was gonna say about
I was saying how Vergil
Benavidez
at
and
number 1.
Vergil.
Yeah.
The Benavidez and Vergil kind of got a part answer on that,
Mm.
and it's because remember when I told you, like, yes, Mexico rocks with Canelo,
Mhm.
but most of the criticism comes from Mexico for Canelo. It don't come from America.
Mhm.
America, they love Canelo here,
Mhm.
but the
Yep,
criticism
you
comes
did
from
say it, yep.
comes from Mexico itself. The reason people don't rock with Benavidez just as much as Vergil is because the same reason we don't rock with Canelo, the opposition he faced. And now he's at 175. There's no names but Bill and Beterbiev right now. How can he be the face of boxing? How can we get behind that? And then he's gonna go up to cruiserweight, where it's the straw weights of the heavyweights, where nobody gives a fuck.
Right.
If 175 is dead, cruiserweight is
Super
terminal.
dead.
It's
Dead. He's
super
terminal,
dead.
right? Facts.
Hey, yo, and
It's
you know
like
some
it's
funny
like
thing?
it's like that guy that you said is straight to hell. That's
Straight to
that's cruiserweight.
Facts. I do remember what I was gonna
And
say
another-
now.
Okay.
Is that speaking of the IBO belt and boots? That's what reminded me of when Ty was talking about boots. Remember how we always pooped on the gosh dang IBO belt with Luis Malima? I say it's always funny. I just read an article today, and they said that Bivol fighting Michael Eifert, which I think is a good fight because Michael Eifert deserves it. Not saying that Michael Eifert is a great opponent, but he's been the IBF mandatory, right? I read an article and it said that there's 5 belts on the line. I said 5 belts. I said how they can, because Benavidez got the WBC, but when I read the article, it said the IBF, obviously, which Bivol has, the WBO, which Bivol has, the WBA, which Bivol has. That's 3. Then the Ring Magazine that Bivol has, that's 4. And then the 5th one is what? The IBO. They pick and choose when they want to talk about the IBO. But when Luis Malima got it, he's a nobody, right? But when Bivol is fighting Eifert, it's 5 belts on the line. I'm telling you, bro. People, there's no consistency.
You know what I'm gonna say?
Go ahead.
Yo, back to the Benavidez thing. This is just my perspective of it. This is my perspective. And it's based on what Oscar was talking about, right? So, I'm believing. Since like he said, different fan bases from America and Mexico.
Yep.
And since Benavidez is, in between, I'm thinking they didn't go with Benavidez, like the fans, because he was going for Canelo, who was the face. That's what I believe. No, I'm just saying. I could be 100% wrong, but I'm just saying that's just what I believe. I'm like, yo, I think that they not putting with Benavidez. I know you're talking about the divisions and all that, but I can't put Benavidez and Ortiz because they're in 2 different divisions. I mean, completely. So,
I just disagree in the sense that when Benavidez had the belt, remember his last fight, that was his 2nd title defense, and he's been a belt holder 3 times. He didn't fight Charlo when he could fight Charlo. He didn't fight Plant when he could have fight Plant. And then he popped for Coke, and he was overweight.
Cocaine.
And then he finally fought Plant, but that wasn't the Plant that we wanted to fight. And then he wasn't even fighting Munguia. He wasn't fighting Iglesias, who was popping kind of, but not really. Pacheco, who was popping kind of. Pacheco is more known in Mexico than Iglesias is. So it's like, bro, like he wasn't fighting nobody. If we're really 100% honest, Plant till this day is still his best win.
I agree with that.
And it was Canelo's scrap. So look at his body of work.
I like the Morel fight, me personally, but I think that obviously Plant's bigger than Morel. I agree with that. I will say this, fellas, though. I'm about to slide, man. I'm about to slide. Sorry to end so abruptly, but I got to go make this run real quick. I just got a little text, man. I got to run and handle the business.
Gotta go get that shorty you had with you the other day, Doc.
Nah, hey, bro, I tell you, boy, it's out here driving me, man. Let me not lie, right? I have some hollering at me, but I ain't entertaining none, man. I'm out here just hustling, man, trying to get my
Hey,
get my
we
schedule
grinding,
together.
we grinding.
Just trying to grind, bro. You know, like I've
We
always
just
been
grinding,
doing.
kid.
But I do got to enjoy
We
life
only
too, man.
doing.
I've been listening to some scriptures to tell me to enjoy life. Man. I be working, y'all. I
You
be
die. We
trying.
ain't doing no. Listen, just don't do no full stays in hotel. Don't wake up in the night. Do short stays. That's it.
All right,
Short
you
stays.
know what I'm saying?
Get in there.
They be
Get in there
scaring me out
12. Get
here,
out of there
boy.
about 4. Yeah,
Yeah, they
get out
be
about 4. You know what I mean?
right,
Get the short stays.
right. They be
You know
scaring
about
me
the
out
short
here,
stays,
man.
Ty. They ain't got those shit on the West. Cause you know about the short stays, Ty.
Come on
They go
now.
in there and get a short stay 4 hours. You
Right.
heard me? By the
Hey.
time your girl get up and get to the hotel, you be gone. You think I'm in here until the morning? I'm back at the house, baby. I'm back at the house. I left the party at
Paper
12.
trail
You know,
clean.
New
Ain't
York.
got no type of,
Hey
you
yo,
know.
hey yo, hey yo. The party's over at 4 o'clock in the city, 4, 5 o'clock. So you gotta slide
Facts.
at 12, go to a little short stay,
Facts.
and you be back in the house at 4. Your girl think you came from the party. It's love as well. I got perfume with me. I've been around bitches all night. Fuck you
Yep.
talking about?
Yep.
Been hugging bitches all night.
Right. That ain't mine. I don't know who that is. That's everybody, man. But yeah, man.
I'm back in the house at the same time the party is over, baby girl. It's all good. Love is love. You hear me?
Exactly. Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all pulling up, though, man. We got a fight tomorrow. I can't remember who's fighting. It's not a big fight, but, you know, the fight that I was looking forward to was the one today that, you know, hopefully Raul Curio wins, but I was looking forward to Curio
Yo,
versus
catch you one
Rocha,
question
man.
before you leave, Doc.
Yeah.
Who you got on Keyshawn and Ortiz?
Man, hey, for some reason I think that's a close fight, bro. But I'm going with Keyshawn, man. I think Keyshawn is
Yeah, I gotta go with Keyshawn, man.
But man, I don't know, man. I got a feeling that Jermaine ain't coming to play, man.
I'm shaky, man.
It's shaky, bro.
I think
I gotta go with
Keyshawn,
Keyshawn,
to
man.
me, Keyshawn's gonna make a statement just on how good Jermaine Ortiz is gonna fight. Like,
But that's gonna be dangerous with him, though.
I think it's gonna be
Jermaine, though.
Heck
But
yeah.
I tell you what,
Too optimistic.
that Tio Shakur fight looking like it's gonna turn out shitty as hell.
Really?
And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Really? Go ahead, Ty. Talk to me, Ty.
What'd you say, Ty?
I said I don't know about either one of those things y'all just said about those two fights.
Really?
One of them, I wouldn't go in there picking Keyshawn or Jermaine. Y'all should be looking at it like this is a potential good fight. Let's see who wins.
That's a tough one there, boy.
Yeah.
Because the minute you name somebody, you finna get disappointed.
Come on now.
I mean, Ty, that's such a tough one when you look at it. Listen, I've been analyzing, I've been trying to figure out like who, and I'm like, man, that's different. I just don't want Keyshawn to go in there overconfident because he been out, you know, because that shit probably he been out, all that shit that happened when, you know what I mean. So he want to come in and huh?
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. My bad.
No, get.
No, I was gonna add on to what you said. I kind of want him to come in overconfident. I want them to mix it up. I want this fight to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you better just prepare.
But you know the funny thing
I
about
feel like Ortiz is
thing
alive, bro. But I'm going with Keyshawn though. But I think it's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, I'm going with Keyshawn. But the funny thing about it is that I don't gotta want that kind of fight because that's the kind of fight it's gonna be. See, I want to see. You get what I'm saying? I know that kind of is going to be just that. I just don't want Keyshawn to get overconfident because he and it was somebody like a replica of him. It's like a replica, you know what I mean? So you can't really be, you know what I mean? Keyshawn gonna be Keyshawn because he get that tick, you know, he get that little tick, and I like those niggas to get that tick. He get that tick and then he's loose, he's gone. But I want him to find his place first. So I don't want him to go in there over the confident, trying to trying to make up for the last fight.
Right.
Basically, you get what I'm saying? Trying to make up for for that fight.
Yeah, that's not. Yep.
And I think you're running into a brick wall with Jermaine that way. I mean, for real. I think you're running into a real brick wall, man. But I'm gonna go for Keyshawn though. I'm gonna put my neck out there and say, yo.
I agree with Oster because it's like Keyshawn said himself best. If you don't got the power to keep me off you, I'm not gonna respect you. But Jermaine Ortiz got the tools to take you apart too. So it's God damn.
But I do say this though. I do think that I disagree with Oscar. I think that for some reason, as it gets closer, I'm getting more excited. Maybe I'm just a fool and I'm just tricking myself with that little box. But I'm actually getting excited for Shakur Tio. I think he's gonna be good. I know at first I was like, I'm not sure, but now, if it actually, if they actually,
hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. I just have a feeling he's gonna be a stinker.
Yeah, it might be. It definitely has a chance.
Do you think Shakur gonna fight Tio like he fought Cepeda? Well, my thing is this. For this fight here with Tio, I feel now this is one fight that I feel that Shakur should come here, not overconfident, but like I know I could beat you. because I've been watching you since we've been in amateurs. I've been wanting to fight you for the longest, and I want you to really show it. Like I want you to step to T.O., like step to him, make him all that athleticism that you talk about. We need to see that. I want you to step to him, like fight going forward instead of more defensive. I see how you fought Cepeda. That was cool though. But T.O. ain't gonna swing like Cepeda swing. He gonna try to counterpunch you. That's why I need you to step to him and off balance.
Are you nervous for T.O.? I mean, sorry. Are you nervous for Shakur?
Nah, I ain't nervous for Shakur because I know the reason why I'm not nervous because I know if Shakur go on there with one game and it's not working, I know Shakur can adapt and get back to the game that he been winning with. You know what I mean? So I want you to try. I want you to try though. I want you to put your feet in the water. You know what I mean? Go put your feet in the water and see if it's. You know what I mean? Go.
Man, hey,
go
like
test
I said, maybe I'm fooling
myself,
man, but I think this fight gonna be good. I think T.O. gonna show us up, bro. I'm not saying that T.O.'s gonna win.
Fight of the year candidate.
What you say, Ty?
This about to be the fight of the
year
candidate.
I'm telling you, bro. I don't know why I'm feeling so good about it, bro. I'm feeling good about this fight. I don't know why. Like I said, I could just be fooling myself, man. But I could be fooling myself.
Look, I'm close to like. I'm close to like 30%, 40% on this fight. I ain't even close to 50. I think I believe if this fight don't go the way that we want to see, like you know what I mean? The fight that we want to see, like you want to see him dominate T.O. and all that. If it don't go that way, I believe it's gonna go like a 30. It's gonna be like okay, it's a chess match for the whole. Man. If they sit there and respect each other, it's gonna be a chess. That's like I hope that. That's why I want Shakur to step to him. I hope they don't, man. Yeah. And my thing with Keyshawn, only thing about with Keyshawn,
Leonard won.
Hey,
which is that?
In the manner you said you want Shakur to step to him, it's going to look like Duran Leonard won.
Hey,
and Leonard lost that fight.
Yeah.
Coming in there overconfident, trying to rush him just because you realized you was bigger than him.
Hey.
He's still skilled.
No, I'm not saying that because T.O. bigger than Shakur.
I gotta go a slide though, man. Y'all can do y'all thing. I'm gonna pull up Tay too, cause Tay's in the back. I'm gonna pull up Tay and let him join y'all. I appreciate y'all rocking for real, man. Appreciate y'all, man. We'll catch y'all on the flip side. God bless.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But you hear me, Ty?
But yeah, chat. I'm about to go ahead and slide, man. Appreciate y'all rocking, man. Folk, my boy 2-4. I'ma holler at you, bruh. But thank y'all for pulling up. Like I said, I have some other obligations outside of the boxing content. That's why it's been kind of slowing down. But please don't think that we stop. And we ain't going to stop. We going to keep it popping. We ain't stopping. We keeping it popping. You see what I'm saying? But just got some other things got to take care of and stuff like that throughout the week. But I'm trying to get my schedule back, But yeah, man, appreciate y'all rocking as always. Don't forget to smack that like button for your boy. I appreciate it. Shout out to my brother Oscar with the $10 on the super chat. Shout out to my brother George with the 99 cents on the super chat, man. Appreciate everybody coming through. Don't forget to smack that like button. But most importantly, remember with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.